can introduce you. This here is Tyler. He is, you run Hobby Night, basically, correct?
Hobby Night was my idea, actually. So I reached out and said, hey, it would be a good idea, I think, to get a little community here of hobbyers that might, want to just socialize or share different games that they're into, or, maybe learn a thing or two from people that might have a little more experience than them. And we've developed a nice little community here. We have all skill levels.
Nice.
And we have some fun little events that we do for like certain holidays and stuff. Anyone is welcome. We're always down for sharing tips and hobby ideas and stuff. But warn you, you will get into many more games than you thought you would, because you will see minis from all the different games, and you'd be like, what is that? And it's like, well, it's from this game, and it does this, and you can do these factions. It's like, let's go look at the wall. And we do that all the time. It is dangerous for your wallet.
Yeah, so I started putting together minis for our someone at the office for him, because he wants to play, but he doesn't really want to put them together. And I was like, I really enjoy this. This is actually more fun than I was expecting. And now I'm just like, well, I really hope that I don't get too into it and stuff like that, because I can't afford to get into a new hobby right now.
And now look where you are.
I know. Now I'm really excited about painting, because the last time this happened, I did not have a very enjoyable time. He came out okay. Wasn't the best looking guy, like nothing fancy, but
I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna do this. We are. X marks the spot.
Yeah, I've had to like tape my area when I do the top down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So now I know to stay right there. She needs it.
That'd be me. Thank you.
Look at that.
Thank you.
All right, now let's scrape all that schmutz off.
Pop sockets work really well for these.
I have a pop socket. Oh, you know what? I could.
Because then, like, you can pop it out and just peel it off.
No.
I know that much.
Eric, I need you. Currently, no. No.
Here, don't tell me. I'll figure it out. Here you go.
Exactly.
Yay.
Thank you. Use that. And
Perfect.
if the other side is cleaner, use that. That side's probably better.
Okay. Yeah. Stress
We're going to be using a lot of different colors. Okay, I guess, yeah. So, no wet palette. That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's fun.
Guys, these are really good, by the way. We've done them for like paint nights at home and stuff like that. Because we played, I don't know if you know Canvas, but we played a game of Canvas, and then we painted what we made in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we use things like this because then they're easier to clean out afterwards.
Nice. So I have this right here. I went to the website and I saw every single angle of the two things that we were painting.
Okay.
Not the BattleTech though. So this camera's working. What's that camera doing?
That is the little guy here. He's just like an overall general showing us
I didn't see that. Hi. All right, so let's do this. So the first thing we want to do whenever we're painting, I guess, do you want me to like go through the whole spiel with you? Okay, cool.
Like I started panicking immediately because I didn't know what brush to use.
No, that's okay. So we will treat this as if you've never painted anything before.
Cool.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of have an overall plan here. What I've done with this is I spray primed it at home with an airbrush. And real quick, I don't know who else in the chat right now.
Got about 2 viewers.
Okay. Our volume's good. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me over the background noise?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. We
Okay.
should be the most like dominant ones. Those guys are probably sort of audible when we're quieter.
Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I've done here, you can see, I don't know how clear it is on there. Can we actually make that, I guess not take up more of the screen. All right.
Danny says we're good.
Just so I can see.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I just want to be able to see the screen. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool.
This too. About
Perfect.
as big as I can make it.
Perfect. This seems like it's very blown out. So what I'm going to do is turn this down a little bit so you all can see. Is that better? Is that more clear?
That looks good, yeah.
Is that more clear? Okay. So what I have here is I've spray primed this with an airbrush black. You can do it with rattle cans. You can prime it regularly with a brush. I have access to an airbrush, so that's just what I did. And then I took white ink. You can also take any other white. And I did a zenithal. And what zenithal is, it's like the zenith of the sun shining down above. So it's like the light above. So this kind of shows you how light is going to hit. And this is more of an advanced aspect of painting, like, you know, an approach to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference that as my highlights, my darks. And what you can do, I took a picture of this, so I'm going to keep this up for us. But what I would like to do generally is I'll take a picture of this and reference that. So whenever I'm doing my color, if I want to have that nice contrast of color there with shadows and highlights, I'll have the information right there. You can say, oh, it went here and it started here. That's more advanced. What most people are normally going to do is just paint it flat, maybe do a wash, call it a day, or add a highlight to it,
right,
and call it a day.
Okay.
So that's what we got here, a zenithal highlight. From here we can start slathering out. So what I think I want us to do first is get all of the skin of the elephant on.
Okay.
Typically you would like to work inside to outside. It's just easier on you. You don't want to be having all the like helmet done and then be like, oh, I got to get into this tiny spot. Oh, now I've gone over the metal. You know, I have a helmet on mine. You don't have a helmet on your guide.
Oh yeah.
But there's probably some metal on there.
Yeah, it looks like the chains here.
Chains and all
but
that.
I think this is all fabric here, but I do see some skin through like some of these tinier cracks here. So okay.
And that's what we want to get first.
Okay, cool.
We want to try and be clean with it. In terms of brushes, I am using a Winsor & Newton Series 7. It's a sable hair, a Kolinsky sable hair brush. It's hair of a weasel.
All right.
But it is considered like the best hair to use with brushes for painting. Unless you get to a certain level of painting, you're not really going to be able to tell. A lot of people use synthetic brushes. A lot of people use craft brushes that they get from Michael's.
We've got some of those.
Yeah.
This is a starter brush from Army Painting. That's what I'm working with.
Yep. Starter brush from Army Painting. That is good. That is probably a synthetic sable hair. Unless it's
feels pretty soft.
Actually, let me see. That might be. I don't know. It might be. But the way what that does is it holds paint really well, and it's springy. You see how that kind of comes back? Other synthetic brushes will just stay bent.
Gotcha.
And that's really useful for when we're painting because we're getting on the model and then it's coming back and it keeps that pointy tip. The single most important thing for a paintbrush is a pointy tip.
Makes sense.
A lot of people think you need the world's smallest brush to get into the tiny details. I think not. I have small pointy brushes.
Mm-hmm.
They have their use for certain things, but generally I'm going to use a size 2 in this, and the sizes are different across all brands of brushes.
Okay.
A 2 here is not going to be a 2 with other brushes,
Mm-hmm.
but I use a 2, and then this is it is rubbed off. This is a 1 or a 0. I think it's a 0. Nope, this is a 1. So the reason why I like using a thicker brush with a pointy tip is because the paint loads the brush well
Mm-hmm.
and stays wet. So the smaller your brush gets, the less hair there is, and the less moist it stays. So if you have a really, really tiny brush and you're trying to get into spots, you're going to find that the brush is dry, or the paint is drying on the brush
Gotcha.
really
Okay.
fast. So you'll get like 1 streak, 2 streak. Oh no, it's dry. I need to
Mm-hmm.
rinse off my brush, get the paint, put it on there. It's a hassle. So you don't run into that as much with a thicker brush. So that's going to do you good. That's probably about the same size as this.
That guy? Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll get you some paint out. I think for this elephant, as you can see, I'll keep this right here. We'll zoom in. We want to use, let's go our like mid-tone / dark and work our way up.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use, I've got a couple different grays here, and they have like a warm gray. So we're going to use some Payne's gray.
Did you want to show the camera?
Yeah, sure, we can
So
show the
they can
camera.
see?
So here's what we're working with. We've got
There you go.
these guys.
I got the second guy on that one.
Yeah, she's got the other one. So,
Cool. All right.
and you have the red one. So I've got the guy with the helmet. So, we shake up our paint. That should be fine. You don't need to like crazy shake it if you paint enough.
Mm-hmm.
Should be okay. That's a lot of paint. We're gonna do some. All right, we're gonna consider that 1 drop. Now we're not gonna just use Payne's gray for Pro Acryl. We're gonna kind of mix it. So I think I want to brighten it a little bit with this Great Hall Gray from War Paints Fanatic. Down here, somewhere, right here.
There you go.
Just use the X for everything. Now this color is great. I use it for a lot of other things. I'm just gonna put some right in there for you. You don't need a lot of paint.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wet my brush on the brush palette. Just kind of dip your brush in, and then wick it off on the side, the edge there, and that should be fine.
Okay.
You don't want to get all the water out of your brush.
Makes sense.
Now, let me find the recipe here first, and then we'll make it on your side. I'm going to take 1 to 1 and just start mixing. That's definitely not it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go 2 to 1. That seems like an okay start. I want it to be a little desaturated. And whenever you want something desaturated, you add white to it.
Okay.
So just a little bit. See how far that goes. That desaturated it well enough. Now, some people just start painting with this. I'm going to actually rinse off my brush.
Okay.
So let's go 2 to 1.
Oh, that.
Just get a whole brush of it.
Okay.
Yep. Get it all in there. Yep. Now get another. I'll get 2 of those.
Here.
Perfect. And let's get you some white. This is Pro Acryl Bold Titanium White. This is the best white you can get. Hands down.
What's the?
I don't care what anyone says. It's
And
great.
just
You
a
can get it from Monument
smidge.
Hobbies. They make wonderful paint, and they make it here in America.
Is that enough white? Did I need a little more?
Just you're probably fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's okay if the elements are different colors. Not everything has to be exact. So now you got that rinsed off, wicked a little bit. All right, now we're gonna load the brush up. And what I mean by we're gonna load the brush up is we're just gonna do this.
Just the tip.
Just a little bit. You don't. What this metal part is called? It's the ferrule.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want paint getting in there. It's gonna get in there.
Yeah.
You just have to clean our brushes afterwards. But try not. So from there, we've got this dark color. We want to basically paint all the dark parts in and try and leave out the white parts. We're going to go in with a brighter color on there, and then we're going to kind of blend them in.
Okay.
It's not going to be that difficult once I kind of show you how to do it. So we're just going to go in, and you want to kind of follow the line of what you're doing. You don't want to be like circles or stuff. So pick a direction and kind of stick with it. And we just paint it on. One of the most important things when you're painting is paint consistency. Making sure your paint is well thinned, but not too watery, right? You don't want it beating up. So let's see what you got going. That's perfect. That is perfect paint consistency right there. Generally, you want to do 2 thin coats. It's like the mantra for like the whole painting community.
Mm-hmm.
But it just depends on the paint, and use your best judgment.
This guy's tail is coming out of a metal piece, so
That's okay.
think I can find where his tail ends.
The big thing to remember about painting is it's an additive process. If you ever mess something up, you can always fix it. So I'm just getting in there, getting in all these spots, getting in all these shadows, really trying to cover all these shadow spots. Now it's okay if the color that we're putting on isn't the same like value as the shadows that are already there.
Mm-hmm.
We can always darken it if it looks bad, but we kind of just want to trust the process and get the midtones and the highlights on before we make that call.
Okay.
Because when you're 3 feet away looking at a table, when you're playing your game. Oh, also, before I get sidetracked, these are miniatures from Epic Battles, Hail Caesar, the Punic Wars.
Punic Wars.
I hope that's how you pronounce that.
I think that's Punic Wars. Yeah.
It is a... What is the scale on it? Is it 6 mil?
That's a fantastic question.
It is very tiny. These are the big guys. Most of the dudes look like this. And
Does it say size over here?
it says actual size. And they're very tiny.
That doesn't help.
I don't want
Do
to.
you know the sizing on these?
I don't want to say they're 6 mil.
Yeah.
10 mil? I was thinking 6, so yeah, okay, so 10 is what we're being told. They're very tiny.
Woo!
But these elephants are really cool. I like them a lot. So, if you want to talk about some promotional things that we're doing.
Yeah, so we actually have some of the Hannibal Hail Caesar sets that we'll be giving away on stream, as well as here within Hobby Night for those that wish to try to get some. We've also got some bolt action items from the new Panzer set. So we've got like Band of Brothers with some like a book and some extra cards and stuff attached
cool.
to it and stuff like
we
that.
had
I got to figure out the best way to divvy those guys up. So it'll probably be like one of the Panzer sets, one of the regular bolt action starter sets, and then maybe 2 of the Hail Caesars if you guys are interested. Kind of if we get enough people.
Nice.
But yeah.
And this is
Oh, I wasn't paying
from
attention. I think
Warlord
that is correct. Warlord Games. Yep.
Yeah.
I've not really done any mini. So like my very first miniature that I ever really painted was a WizKids mini for D&D game we
Nice.
were playing.
Yep. Was it one of their plastic kits that you have to build, or was it pre-built?
I think it technically was pre-built.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that came in like the little blister, and you just like open it up, and it was like
Right.
I don't think those are primed, but
Oh, was it like one of their blind box ones?
No, maybe they are. Do those come already primed? I don't think I
I
had
don't
to
know.
prime anything.
I've never
I think I
got
just
one of
started
those. Oh.
painting.
So here's the thing. I just went over the helmet a little bit on accident. That's fine because
we'll be doing the helmet later.
Yeah. And if anyone's interested on the stream, is this going to be a VOD too? Like,
yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'm also going to post this to YouTube afterwards.
Cool. So if anyone's wondering, we're gonna do gold on this helmet, and I'm gonna show you this really cool recipe from the late great, very awesome Vincey V. For any of those that know, they know. He has this amazing gold recipe, and I started using it recently, and it is the bee's knees. I mean, it is so good. I'm never going to use any other gold ever again. And if he sees this, Vince, I love you. Thank you for all you do. And I would love to meet you one day and hang out because you're super cool. But I'm going to show everybody your gold recipe because holy cow, is it awesome. And go watch his videos because he deserves it. But yeah, so this process here shouldn't take us too long. We're just getting the elephant skin on,
Unless I'm too distracted and I stopped painting.
That's okay.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I wish we had a little handle for you because man,
It's all right. I don't
I
mind.
even had an extra one in here, and I was like, I don't need that one. I need this one.
When I painted, I used an empty like medicine bottle that I had sitting in my purse.
Yep, a lot of people do that.
And I just put like it's not really putty, but it's like sticky tack or something on it.
Yep.
Just did that.
That is exactly what you should do.
I like the way yours turns though.
Yeah.
Like you can hold it in place.
I got this from Amazon. They're very cheap. It comes with a bunch of these like removable magnetic things right here, so I can do this little fancy number.
Oh, that's
and be like, oh, on to the next one. And it was like, I don't know, $16, $17. They're very cheap. Yeah, I think this is coming along. A big thing. So the underbits, if you can reach them, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. You're going to be looking at this from 3 feet away, and you're not going to be able to see anything underneath it. So just keep that in mind.
I did stress out a little bit too much over that then on my wyvern.
That's fine if you did. That is okay. So I think I'm good.
I'm behind. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Painting it, some people are really fast. We've got some people here at Hobby Night that last week, he who must not be named painted 6 minis. He's not paying attention, but yeah. And for me, it takes 6 weeks to get a mini done because I'm very particular. I'm really trying my best with my stuff, and I'm also a dad, so my outside time from painting is not very abundant. Outside of like having a 9-to-5 job and having a 2-year-old.
Oh, prime years too. all of the time.
Yeah, she skipped being a 2-year-old, like the terrible twos, which flew past the being a teenager for a week or two, and now she's like a 4 adult. It's crazy.
We started getting her into painting yet?
Oh, she loves painting, but she hasn't done any miniatures yet.
Oh,
But I bet she would like to. She loves seeing all. I've got a big wall of games at home, and that's all she ever wants to do is play games.
Nice.
She's like, "We get this one out now." I'm like, "Yeah, we can get that one out." But she looks at all the little pieces. She goes, "All right, I need another one." And it's like, okay, let's get a different game. So funny. All right, so my skin is done here for the shadows. I'm gonna wash my brush out. There's a lot of debate online of like how long you should wait before washing your brush out, even if you're using the same color.
Mm-hmm.
You end up developing a feel for it, but it doesn't matter too much. Eventually, the paint will dry up in your brush, and you'll start seeing your brush hairs split, like this. You can just kind of like roll your brush to get the point back while you're painting. And I do that a lot to keep the tip, but eventually you just wash it out, get the same color, you're good. Yeah.
I've just got the head left.
You're good. Also, I'm a brush licker. Sorry. It won't hurt you. There's another great YouTuber out there called Goobertown Hobbies. And if I'm not mistaken, he's like a chemical engineer for his normal job. And he does a lot of testing with products. And basically, like, I think it was him that said it. You'd have to drink like 10 gallons of this paint for it to do anything to you, and it's not gonna.
That's a lot of paint then.
Yeah.
Like if you're dedicated enough to drink 10 gallons
So like
of
you
paint.
can just take paint right here and like whatever. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to eat paint, okay? But I'm saying if for some reason paint enters your mouth, you should be fine. Just not cadmium paint. That'll do a lot of harm. Don't do that. But I will be licking my brush.
I will be here not judging.
Good. Oh. So, I think what I'm going to do for a plan here is I'm going to mix up a different color and start going up in the colors here. So we've got a lot of brightness we can do here. The thing that I'm trying to be better at is stronger highlights. I tend to go a little too subtle with them, and whenever you set it down and out of your light, that's the big thing is you're not always going to have your light above this, so whenever you set it on the table under fluorescent lights at a game store, it's going to look different. It's going to look darker. So trying to keep the brightness more contrasty is something that I've been trying to work on. If you can get into that earlier in your painting journey, the better off you're going to be. So
Fair.
Don't be scared. Be bold. Be brave.
Experiment. Oh, I went right over that, but that's fine.
It's fine.
It's underneath the neck anyway.
It's an additive process. No one will ever know. Let's see if there's any spots that maybe I missed. I got the cheeks. So, and you can see right here, there's some.
Hi, have a good one. Operations manager, guys.
Oh, cool. Oh, I was asking him to help with stuff, and he's like, okay. I didn't know he wasn't the guy to ask.
It's all right.
He was kind enough to do it.
He's in charge of retail and stuff. He's was over at the new retail location working on some stuff earlier this morning. So
Nice.
I am waiting for that to open myself.
Oh, at the new spot? Nice.
We're currently waiting on.
That's in South City? Yeah.
I'm not from here, so I don't know if it's South City,
Okay.
but it's Rock Hill. Is that South City? Yeah, me neither.
No idea.
I'm from Wisconsin. I only moved here 4 years ago, and St. Louis is still very confusing to me.
From Cheese Land.
I miss the snow, guys.
You know, I like snow. People around here complain.
That's because everything shuts down when snow happens.
Yeah. Everybody forgets how to drive.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see if I can try and figure out this next color that we want to do.
Cool.
So
I'm basically done.
basically done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's a little blue, but I think it should be okay.
that's okay. Because the other colors are going to turn it in.
Okay.
So let's try and make that same mixture. So 1, 2.
I definitely wish I had the wet palette that I used the last time. I liked this.
Wet palette. If there's any tool I would say that anyone needs when painting, you need a wet palette. It's like the one thing I can't live without. I mean, all right, you don't need it, but life is so much better when you have one. So we've made this mixture again, right? We've got it pretty close. Now we're gonna add another drop of our tan color, our Great Hall Gray. Kind of warm it up, and I think we're gonna need one more. So that's a total of 4 to 1 on our Great Hall Gray.
Okay.
Now we've brightened that color up a lot, and we're gonna take a dab of this white. And we brightened it up a lot more. Yeah, I'm just gonna recreate this here. Woo. That was a little too much white on that one. Okay.
I think I came close to your actual color.
Color mixing is really not as hard as a lot of people think it is. It's just you just kind of ratio it out. You know, 1 of this, 2 of this.
What do you
done.
think? I think it's a little darker than yours.
That's okay. That's okay. So, you did the whole thing.
Oh, was I not supposed to? I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. So see how I left all the highlights?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, just the dark butts. But it's okay.
I think I remember where it was.
That's okay. We're just gonna give it a shot.
I'm gonna try.
And you can use mine as reference.
I misunderstood the assignment.
That's okay. So let's do the elephant butt first.
Okay.
So we're gonna take this. And what a lot of people like to do, I'm going to teach you a little thing here. We're going to test our paint consistency. So we're going to test it on our skin here. And if you can do a line and it flows out of there good enough. So yours is a little too wet.
Okay.
But that's okay. Yep. You just kind of wick a little bit of that moisture off. And you probably need...
do that, Bob.
Hey, Travis. Can you do me a favor and tear off a piece of paper towel for her?
These are cool bags, by the way.
They are also from Monument Hobbies. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
So if you ever find that your paint's too thin, just get a dab of it and then just kind of tap your paper towel with it and then try it again. So get that in there. Great. So now we're just going to get these highlights, all right? And I'm going to try and keep this over here so people can see. And we're just going to block it in right where we think the highlights are. So anywhere that you think the light is going to hit primarily is what you want to touch on there. And I'm not going to do the whole side of it because I want that blend. So I'm just kind of doing that mid part. And you can go into the dark, to the shadow a little bit. It'll blend out. Just kind of painting in the same direction.
The only thing I heard was that there was going to be a bunch of cameos. Oh, yeah. I didn't get spoiled on
How's that? I can't really tell though. I'm wondering
You
if I
might
did it
want to
wrong.
go. Yeah, you might want to go brighter.
So a little bit more white.
Yeah.
Okay.
More white and more of this.
That might be too much white.
That's okay. We want to go bold with it. So here, I'll give you some more of this.
Superman, Witcher, this.
Right. Gotta remember to keep flapping my lips. I tend to get in the zone and get a little quiet.
That's all right. We have ambient background convo, so
Yeah.
it should be all right. So I'm pretty sure the mic picks up those guys over there. No hate to them though. They're talking about interesting things.
For now. Yeah, Travis, if you could help Eric rein people in tonight. Oh.
I think you're the crap. It's been great so far.
By the way, guys, if you want to be, if you guys want to be entered in to win any of these guys, you can put a name on there, but depending on how many people sign up, you might just get one. So.
You want like 8,000.
You just come.
Just put your name on a ticket.
This is for hobby night.
Yeah, if you want any of this.
In this life or the next? Hey, that's accurate. Stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're just getting all these midtones in. See, I don't even think I went bright enough, but it's okay because we can fix that.
How's his butt look now?
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
FaceTime now.
So they've got a lot more of a warm highlight there. So I think I'm gonna do some course correction, and I'm gonna add more of this Great Hall Gray into our midtone. I'm gonna go back over some spots. Do you still have some? Yeah.
It's not dried up yet.
That's a little better. I like that.
Those us in chat if any of you guys are interested in winning either bolt action or Hannibal. Go ahead and let us know in the comments or in the chat what you prefer, and we'll see how many people are interested.
I know I'm interested in bolt action.
The Octoon Panzer bolt action, and then the Hannibal Punic Wars. If you want either one of those, go ahead and drop that in.
Yeah, I'm liking that color a lot more. It's looking out. It's actually looking like a highlight now. So what the Zenithal does, besides giving us kind of a roadmap of where to put shadows and highlights if we want to follow that sort of lighting, it also helps give us like an undercoat for our paints. So if you take like this highlight color that we're doing, or this mid-tone slash highlight, and you were to put it over black, it's going to look a lot darker than if you put it over white. Now eventually you can coat it and they'll look the same, but we're not really going for that. We want to just kind of have that undertone come through. Oh no!
Drop the pachyderm.
I don't think he'll make it.
Actually, hang on if I can get it off.
The dead elephant?
Yeah, the poor parish pachyderm is what you get with the Hannibal set, and it's just like a little downed pachyderm.
Would you like? You can put my. Yeah.
I forgot to eat before I came over.
I didn't eat either.
Just have to make sure it's not a super long stream. Sorry, everyone. We're going out. Leaving for.
I'll make sure to not pick it for you. There we go. It's coming along. Alrighty.
Ooh, that was a little too thick. Okay. I'm done. Oh, forgot a little on, but.
These are so small. I can't. Oh, there's a. Okay, it's a little golden oven. I see it. It's right there. Okay. You'll run into that a lot when you're painting. What is that? And that's another thing that the Zenithal helps us with, is being able to separate materials and see what we're painting, which gives us more detail. If you just prime it black or gray, like it'll all kind of meld together, and you'd be like, "Is that foot or is that pant leg? What's happening?" So cool. So we've got our shadows and our mid-tone slash highlight.
Awesome.
You want to add some detail to it? Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to take that previous color we had, and we're going to mix it with an even brighter, warmer. We want warmer. right? You never want to go full white on your highlights unless you're doing what's called a specular highlight, and that's just like you see my glasses. There's just that one tiny little white part somewhere where like the light is. That's your specular highlights.
Okay.
If you do crazy shiny highlights on everything, everything will look wet or look like it's made of plastic. If you're just trying to go for tabletop ready, you don't have to worry about things like this. But if you're wanting to like paint it to look realistic or realistic enough, you'll want to be choosy where you do these kind of things. And on material is really important as well. So I'm going to test this color. I think we're good. I want to get real bold with it, and we're going to get a little scary. Now, it looks like I'm being really drastic here. But what's actually going to happen is whenever I get it spread across the whole thing, it'll look more cohesive. So we've just mainly mixed our last base tone with a good amount of that Great Hall Gray, which is a nice warm gray. On the Warpaint's Fanatic scale, it is the lower halfway point of how bright it gets. But it's a good color. As you can see, it's still pretty bright. And this is we're just gonna be a little bit brave with it. We're gonna try and get it work. So see how this is a really good thing right here. See how whenever I'm painting it on, it's kind of like not wanting to come off the brush. It's a little dry. That means the paint's not thinned enough, or my brush has lost its moisture.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just kind of get some moisture in there, and we're gonna see where we're at now. That's good.
So am I trying to do like some of those like the shiny parts on top? Like, am I looking for like there?
Yeah, you're trying to get all these higher points that the light's hitting.
Okay.
Try and think of it as blocks, right? So you've got these shapes right here, and right here and here. That's going to be like your second highest bright point, and that's what we're doing right now. So we've done our like shadowish mid-tone. Then we've done our base tone, which is going to be like it's not called a base tone. It's like we've done our in between our shadow and our highlight. So I guess our mid-tone, we'll call it that. And now we're doing like a higher tone. We're kind of layering these on.
Woo! That seems. Is that the wrong color?
That's why I said we're gonna get a little brave with it. We're getting a little brave with it, and we're gonna put this on. And if it ends up being too bright, we can easily knock it back down.
Okay. So am I thinking about like his T area, and then maybe like his little nodules up here?
Yeah. So any points where it's kind of raised up.
Okay.
Where the light is hitting first. And we're just lightly touching it. We're trying to be really gentle with our brush. We don't want to glob the paint on, otherwise we'll lose a lot of the texture of the model. I will say these models from
Warlord Games, yeah.
They're actually very beautiful models. They've got great detail. They have all this nice texture in this elephant. I can get all these different little bits in its ears. It's really nice, and we can do a lot with that. It kind of helps guide us on where we're painting and what we're painting. So we just look at those details and just kind of like follow what it's telling us, and it does a lot of the work for us. The models, if you're getting into painting and you're wondering like, oh, my stuff's not going to look good, as long as you do a really clean job of base coating everything, it'll look good. You can go in and do more afterwards with getting your edge highlighting or getting your recess shading or whatever you want to do there. It doesn't matter. as long as it's clean, the model detail will do a lot of the work for making it look good for you. So what I'm doing here is for any of these highlights, the way that our skin works with highlights is it's not here in the middle. It's all the way up until it hits that crease and changes planes. That's where our highlights stop. Just kind of blending this down in here.
For about 3 years. It wasn't there when we opened, but about 2 or 3 months after we opened in April, like July of 2021.
And another thing you can do, it's a little technique I'm doing right here, called stippling. And basically, like, these tiny spots that I don't want to do like a full brush stroke in, I'm just kind of tapping. Just kind of tapping in there so that I can get the paint on there, create a little bit of good texture, and get those hard to reach spots. We want to be clean with it. It takes a little more time to be clean with your models, but I think it's a little worth it.
We are painting some miniatures from the Warlord Games Hannibal Hail Caesar set, which we have a couple units for giveaways if if you're interested in that. There's also bolt action items that we have for giveaways. But this one specifically is from it's not a starter set, but it's like an introductory set.
It's like the full Army 2-player set, I think.
Yeah, because you have the smaller version of the big set that we have.
Yeah, it came with just these elephants. Yeah.
Yep.
I think the big full set, I think that set right there comes with 4 sets of elephants.
Yeah, we have the full Hannibal. We've got quite a few of the Hannibal sets, but it comes with like 4 elephants and a lot of little dudes. Oh, how did you learn to paint? They've been thinking about learning how to do it for their Flames of War game.
YouTube University. Also, little backstory about me. I'm a professional artist for a living.
Oh, nice.
I work for a toy company. I design toys and games. I actually have games that I worked on these shelves in here. So,
well then.
Yeah.
I am out of my element, guys.
It's okay. YouTube University. Let's see, who all do I watch? I watch Miniac, I watch Ninjon, I watch Vince Venturella, I watch Juan Hidalgo, I watch Duncan Rhodes. There's so many great YouTubers out there you can watch. Vince Venturella is a big standout. If you want to learn anything, he has hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube. He has multiple Golden Demon awards. He has multiple Slayer Sword awards. He is a very good painter. You can learn anything and everything you want from him. And yeah, so YouTube University. And just paint. There's things that you can't learn. The number one thing that I always say, you cannot learn or teach brush control. You just have to put paint on plastic, and eventually you will get brush control. So don't be sad if you're not very good at brush control at first, because that's just the way it goes.
I think I did enough. I'm too nervous to do too much more.
That's okay. It is a little nerve-wracking to think that you're going to ruin your stuff if you do too much. But remember, it's an additive process.
Centrella? What did you say earlier?
Oh, it's Vince Venturella.
Do you know how to spell his last name?
Ventruella. I think it'll come up. However you try and type it, it'll come up on YouTube. He's very popular. He's very, very good at what he does. The algorithm favors him.
The chosen one.
Chose him. No, he's very great. But there's a lot of great YouTubers out there that you could get a lot of great information from. That's how I learned everything I know. I've only been painting miniatures for a year and a half.
Nice. Very nice. I painted a miniature 2 weeks ago, and that was pretty much it. I don't remember how well my first Whiz Kids one came out. I think it was kind of eh. But
sure it came
like
out
I said,
fine.
I don't think I primed it, if I remember correctly, and it was definitely my very first one. The Wyvern that I did on stream a couple weeks ago, that was the Dungeons and Lasers items themselves are really, really cool. Like the amount of detail that is in those miniatures. Yep, they found it.
There you go. I just killed my light a little bit so that it didn't blow out as much. It's gonna start getting darker in here. So.
Oh yeah.
Because we're by the window.
My constructive criticism: do better.
Constructive,
Haha!
I can't say that. You're definitely better than me.
Don't give him an ego.
We are at our Cave Springs retail store. I forget the name of the town up here. Cave Springs is the
St. Peter's.
St. Peters, Missouri. And this is one of our locations. We currently have a new location opening up soon, so we might do some on location filming there as well. But this is kind of a test run to see how well it would go over, how easy it was to set up and things like that. So we might do more, maybe highlighting some events that we have here at the store, maybe on the weekends or something. Maybe once a month we do hobby night again. This is fun because I definitely need like all the help I can get.
Yeah.
But
that's what we're about. Is anytime someone has questions, we've had people come in and out.
Do you mostly just do painting here? Or do you also have people come in and like just sit here and build models with other people?
I've sat here and built models. Yeah. Yep, that was last week for me. Yeah, I was building some kill team last week. We're not going to talk about the problems that came with it. But.
I built some Scaventide items. I actually really liked the ease of how well Games Workshop items fit together.
So they've done a lot of work trying to make it more user friendly and barrier to entry, like easier barrier to entry with a lot of their snap fit stuff. And it's great. I think, making your product more accessible to people is a smart move. I think we're going to see Games Workshop become way more popular than it is now in the public eye.
They don't need a bigger ego.
No, but they're going to get it. Because they've got their, Warhammer universe that they're trying to bring to like visual media.
Yeah, especially with the big Space Marines as well.
And Space Marine 2 was huge. And so I think they're going to kind of like go into the stratosphere even more than they are. So
expect price jumps.
Price drops?
Price jumps.
Oh, jumps. I was like, drops?
No.
In what universe? No, it's, yeah. They say, we can't keep up with the demand. Yeah. So, are you ready for the next part?
I think so.
Let's see how you're looking.
I also realize I've been doing this with my glasses on, and I'm nearsighted. So.
Yeah, I usually take my glasses off for
that?
painting.
You have a handle? Score, can I borrow?
Yes, that would be great.
I've just been holding it. Thank you.
That's okay. I've just been holding mine.
So this is where she's at so far. Doing great. This is really good.
On Friday we were playing.
It doesn't look terrible. Like I'm excited
So what we're
that.
gonna do is we're just gonna stick them right there in the sticky tag, and then you can use your thumb to kind of move this around.
Ooh.
And
What is this
what I do
usually
with
used
this, so I took mine off, but you can hold this and use it for your brush, so you
I
can
like
kind of get into the tight places. In here,
Like a stabilizer.
Yep.
I like that. Awesome.
Almost handed you my brush. Give me my brush.
Mine.
So
I mean, I know.
Awesome.
that's where
So
we're
what's
at.
next?
So what's next? So skin has a natural shine to it. So we're gonna add our final little highlight to it. Okay. What price equipment is the most important in painting? Brushes, paint. So that answer is yes to all. You can get very expensive everything. You can get very expensive paint. You can get very expensive brushes. You can get very expensive airbrushes. You can also go very cheap with everything. These Winsor & Newton brushes are like $20 a piece on Amazon. Or you can go for the Artist Opus brushes, where it's like $200 for a set.
Mm-hmm.
God bless,
Bless you, my friend.
Bless you, child. I recommend getting one of the starter synthetic sable sets on Amazon. You can probably spend like $20, get a full set of brushes, see what sizes you like. You can get dry brushes that way too.
Yeah, they usually
watch
come with
a
a
video
couple
on how to use dry brushes. Everyone uses dry brushes. They're dry.
I have practiced.
Yeah, dry brushes are not supposed to be dry. They're supposed to have moisture.
Okay.
That's how you get that chalky look on your models, as if they're too dry. So you want some moisture in your brush. It's very tricky to get get it right.
The amount of moisture that's in a dry brush?
Yeah.
Because you don't want it, obviously you don't want them like these.
Yeah, you don't want it like painting on. That'll
Yeah.
ruin everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding the right size of dry brush for what you're trying to dry brush and the amount of moisture,
The guy that taught me dry brushing, definitely we use dry brushes.
Yeah.
So now I'm worried.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not bad, right? You could use it to your advantage. But the Artist Opus people, their YouTube channel, he does so much with dry brushing. So much, and he'll teach you how to do it right. So yeah, but I'd say the most expensive thing just right out the gate is getting an airbrush. But even that has become cheaper. You can go on Amazon and get it's like a portable compressor with airbrush
for 50 or so.
For like $50.
Yeah.
And like it worked. I've used it at a hotel for a whole weekend, and it worked perfectly. But that's a whole nother thing. Watch a lot of videos on airbrushes.
Yeah, that's a different technique.
It's different technique. It's different application, and it's different. You gotta clean it correctly. A lot of people just put paint in it and go, "Oh, it's not working." It's like, well, you didn't put thinner in first, and then put paint in, and then mix it, and then you didn't clean it right. It's it's a whole thing. But it could be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. I've seen people paint great things with apple barrel paints. And I've tried a
apple
lot.
Barrel paint.
They're like the hobby craft store paints for like a tube this big as $1.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
Thin it down enough.
So, we've got our elephants. Got some good highlights. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this color here. We're going to take a little bit of that to kind of bring it Back to that color. That was a little too much. We'll try that again. Yeah. Then we're gonna bring the white in. And we don't want to go pure white with it, but we do want that warmth. And this is going to be going back up. Now, the other thing to know, and a lot of people don't know to start, paint's kind of like your really bright highlights and your like higher value stuff will come down within about 24 hours. So it'll settle in and kind of like blend with everything else. So see how you do. Yeah, add some of this.
A little more.
Whole grain. Yep. Just get a big glob of it. We want to warm that up. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna hit certain points that I think are going to be important to detail out. And you know what? That's not it's not enough. Sometimes you find out that I still didn't go bright enough.
Yeah, I do feel like maybe I should
Put together with
wait.
half the core box, and core box, and living quarters.
There we go. So the interesting thing about color and how it affects what your model looks like after you're done, you've got like a 60, 40, 10 ratio, right? Or not 60, 40, 10. It'd be 60, 30, 10? Yeah. 60, 30, 10. Right? Math? 6, 7, 8, 9? Yeah. The 60% of color is what your model is going to look like.
Okay.
And the 40 or the 30 and the 10% are going to help make it more warm or make it more something else. So like it's something that you just kind of develop over time with looking into color and theory. But you definitely will be at an advantage knowing kind of how color composition works. There we go.
That's the only one I know of.
Me? What'd you do?
I gave him an eyebrow.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Is it too dark? Can people still see?
I think it's still pretty bright with the fluorescence, but
I can turn this up, but I don't want to like blow it out.
that looks good.
Okay, I can't see.
If
from
we
this
had a
angle.
better, like if I was smart enough to figure out how a Zoom works on the webcam with Streamlabs, we wouldn't have this issue. Things to learn for the next time we stream this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's easier with like the big overhead
You,
ones
like,
to just be able to
click
zoom
into
in.
it and then scroll. Nope.
We're trying to zoom in with the webcam on Streamlabs. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to edit, my good sir. I don't know what I'm doing.
They both were out around the same time.
What is your name?
Travis.
Travis. Everybody, this is Travis. Travis is our new IT guy. Problem solver. More on like what he's painting and stuff like that. I feel like it's a little too far away to really see the kind of details that we're doing.
Oh. We'll turn this red. Do you have access to it? Or is
Everything is through Streamlabs.
whatever they call it?
No, they're both just right here. That's the only way. Like that's the only way to really have them set up. I think it was a last minute thing. I think we did it. We did it together yesterday. We didn't get a chance to test a whole lot of things out.
Streamline is just feeding it for taking
Yeah.
I mean, I
think it's
can
okay.
go in. You have to go into your actual camera.
Ooh. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I will test it out now.
Fast forward your cameras. Or even just tap them. Then you can open them and manually control them.
That makes sense. Okay.
You can also settings set it to zoom. Auto zoom that camera into a single point.
Oh.
Where that single point is, or it's a camera.
Gotcha.
It's just a matter of switching it over to zip layer.
Nice.
Switch back to transition. All neat and pretty, but
Very nice. Learning all the things today, guys.
other things took over.
Yeah, when we started streaming, we literally just we put a bunch of cameras up, we like threw everything up, we're like, we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
We've been doing that since March, and it's like everything is like we've slowly started to like change different things. Like our audio is different now, where our camera setups is different. Yeah, so it's been a learning curve since March. I forgot I was supposed to turn this. Oh, look, you've got it up.
Oh.
I also have it up. Mine's mostly for comments, though. Because I apparently didn't sign into this.
Is it blown out?
Shouldn't blow it out.
It blows it out.
Yeah, go down to the next one. 72. Something black too.
The screen is black.
The blue may be better.
Huh? It's not gonna be accurate.
We should be back up. Okay, okay. We might have done it because we were messing with the camera. Sorry about that.
It's like good now. All right.
You're on about 10 seconds late. So
I know.
Yeah, that's always fun too.
oh yeah.
All right.
This is not the best looking.
Oh, it's looking great. That looks great.
Like I said,
Yeah, that looks really good.
I'm gonna do a little, just a smidge on like little, because all of that that kind of like lighter bit that you see is actually from that white that you had airsprayed.
Yeah, and that's why we do that.
oh yeah, they did switch over to Jason's 5.
So I'm going to go ahead and move on. For content.
Oh no, that is different.
Content. That's fine. I'll be right behind you. What are we doing next?
Bringing this back down a little bit. All right. So next I'm going to do the tusks here.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
So they've got it starting from this dark brown. You see those dark brown shadows in there? Let's go ahead and get that in first. So I'm actually going to use our same Great Hall Gray.
I need a little bit.
You need a little bit. Well, bam.
Thank you.
So we're going to mix that with, let's try this. It's going to be warm. It might not work. But I'm going to find out. If not, we'll use this.
If any of you guys are interested in winning or getting a copy of the Hannibal Hail Caesar Punicorns or some bolt action items, you can go ahead and drop us a DM with your email address and we can try to get you one sent out, or just let us know in the comments if you're interested in any of those. We're kind of painting the same model, so basically what it is it's a singular set of two. So he has one version of the elephant and I have the other.
There we go.
I wish I had the first problem.
Too much money problem?
Too much money problem.
Okay, so there's no rhyme or reason to this recipe. We're just gonna go for it. So I've basically taken these three colors, found something I like.
I don't have any of that red.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get you some of this. Right. And then you have this brown.
I do not.
Okay, so what I did was I mixed the Payne's Gray with those four. So we took a little bit of Payne's Gray to darken it, and then it's the red and the brown together to kind of warm it up, and then this Great Hall Gray to kind of brighten it a smidge. Do your best. It's all okay. We're just looking for a brownish kind of desaturated.
That is red.
Yeah.
And then did you add a little bit of the blue in there?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Let me see if I can use that to warm
I
it up.
kind of used it as like what's called a mother color, where you kind of put the same color mixed in with all your other colors. It's a super advanced technique. I don't really understand it that well, but it kind of makes everything cohesive. When I say it's a super advanced technique, I'm not trying to say like I'm super advanced. I'm just saying I've seen people that are really great at painting talk about it, and they know how to utilize it really well. And I am nobody.
Mine is a little pink when we add some more gray.
So I've just kind of done a little bit of texture with it and a little bit of the shadows. And from there, oh no, we're good.
I don't know if this is right. I need more brown now?
Oh, that's right. I didn't even need to do this part because it's gonna be gold.
Help.
Help with what?
Color.
Okay. This one. In there. More. Okay. More of this to darken it. Oh. More. Right. Now we've got it dark. Now we make it warm. Now we add some of this. Now we add a little bit of this. We're getting there. Close. Yeah. See, we just keep adding a little bit at a time. Alright, that should work.
Thank you.
Basically, what I've made is just a darker brown.
Miniature Market does have a website, miniaturemarket.com. That's our online one. We're currently at one of our retail locations for this stream, but yeah, we have a lot of different items, especially for miniatures and painting and things like that. Lots of options to choose from. It's tough, right? Oh, my hand cramped. Ow.
Careful.
Oh.
My old painting injury is acting up again.
Back in my day, miniature painted itself. I almost used just straight up brown. I forgot where I was going. Now, you're just going in the darker recesses, correct? You're not doing the full tusk as like a base.
Right. So see how I've just done these shadowy bits?
Okay.
Your tusks go all the way down. I went all the way down and then forgot that those are gold tipped.
Ah.
But yes, we're just trying to get the under bits.
Yeah.
I'm actually just
This
touching
doesn't
up
have
something.
much for grooves or anything, so I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with it. I guess I'll just.
I'm probably gonna do some looking for an accent. Armor. Probably not. I think a lot of this is the darkest.
See, what we've done here is we've kind of
Ha-cha-cha. Should have auto zoom. Put your hand behind it, maybe. Influencer style. It really doesn't want to focus. I've seen it focus before.
oh well.
Sorry, guys.
So what I've done is we've got this cold shadow with a warmer highlight. And that's kind of how you want to work your shadows and highlights. If you got a cold highlight or a warmer shadow, if you've got a warm highlight and a colder shadow.
Makes sense.
So that's why we used more of this Great Hall Gray to kind of bring that in. All right. Yeah, that looks great.
Okay.
So you see how like the more bold you go with the highlights, it works.
Mm-hmm.
It brings it all in together. So, all right.
Cool. Did it.
Now.
I mixed a lot of paint for the littlest amount.
Yeah. So what I kind of want to do is I want to take this Great Hall Gray, and I kind of want to mix it with some of this white. I need more white. This is bold titanium white from Pro Acryl. I've talked about it before. It's the best white you can ever get. Get you some. Yank. But when you do, buy the better tips for them because they're not good.
Is this even creative? I do highly recommend the wet palette because I used it the last time I painted.
Wet palette's the number
now
one thing.
I'm very sad that I don't have it. I left all of my supplies at the office.
Yep. All right, so I basically created this warm highlight, and we're just gonna see if that's good enough, and we're gonna get the rest of those tusks.
That's a nice ivory.
Yeah. It's a pretty stark contrast to the darker color we did. But that's okay. Because what we can do to blend them is something really interesting. So, and it's close. It's close.
What we booing?
Who knows? So I'm going to take this color here that we used for our base coat, or our shadow for the tusks. And I'm going to mix it with water
Okay.
until it starts to bead up on the palette. See how it's starting to bead up a little bit there? We've created a glaze doing that. And we're just going to lightly go over some of the edges there. And I still didn't do enough, so we're going to even more. Clean it off. Just going to see if we can kind of glaze in. Yeah, that's exactly what we want right there. So this is how you get those nice blends you see right here. See how it's just getting a little bit of that tint on? You do like 900 coats of that.
Okay.
But it'll, what I'm using it for is to kind of blend in this highlight with this brown color that we did. And then I'm going to go back with that highlight color, and I'm going to make a glaze out of that. And we're just going to go back and forth with the two different colors until we get something we're happy with. And I think I like where this part is at. I think I'm happy there. We've got some good texture. This side's a little messy. Try and clean it up.
So I don't have a wet palette, so it's kind of hard to tell when if it's glazed enough, or like if it's beating up. That's what I meant.
Right.
Like,
oh yeah.
Too much water?
No, that's good.
Okay.
So now you're just gonna kind of when you're glazing, if you're trying to glaze a darker color into a lighter color, you want to glaze towards the darker color.
Towards the darker color.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the opposite if you're trying to glaze a highlighter.
Okay.
So you're gonna want to paint up. Yeah, just like that. Great. That looks great.
Cool.
And you can come down a little further with it too. Yep. All right, now leave that. Move on to the next one. It'll be dry by the time you get back to it, and then you'll go in a little further up.
Okay.
So that you can get that nice kind of gradient to it. That looks really awesome already.
Yay! Don't give me an ego. Me thinking I can paint.
Anyone can paint. It's all just practice. That's why I like, when people say, how do you draw the way you do if I'm an artist for a living? They're like, I can only draw stick people. It's like, well, yeah, like at first, but eventually you learn what you're doing. It's just a muscle that you need to train.
I think that's what Aaron Hansen said. He's a Game Grump, never mind.
I love Game Grump.
Yes, I should have worn my shirt.
I watch Game Grumps pretty much every day, actually.
I love those guys.
They did this new game yesterday, I think. It's called Thank Goodness You're Here. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Like Northern Britain humor. It's so funny. And they had such a blast with it. I can't wait for the next part to come. Alright, so I'm happy with my tusks here, and what I'm going to do is get in, since they're ivory, they're going to have that sheen. So I am going to go in with pure white on just a tiny, tiny bit of it.
I don't know why it's not
On just the raised parts.
Oh, there's There's another sign inside the doors too.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That one you was in the corner.
I didn't see it. Okay. That's how it is. Well, I didn't. I saw the one after I'd already entered. I didn't see the first one.
That's fair.
Yay. Oh well.
By the way, for those of you who watch us, Bree from our Thursday night streams is in the house, but further across the way playing some Flesh and Blood.
Oh no. I kicked it.
Oh,
So for my specular highlights here on these tusks, I'm just kind of tapping it to get a couple points of shiny. I'm not really quite happy with this other tusk. Sometimes on like symmetrical things you run into that, where you're like, one looks great, but the other one I'm sad. And you just try your best. You know, nobody's perfect. That's a little better. Just kind of painting that back down in there. There we go. Cool. I think what I want to do next, and that's just because I am me. So I want to do these gold bits. I want to finish the elephant. And actually, I realized earlier, and then I forgot, I didn't do tail.
yeah, mine is like recessed inside of that.
Oh, your tail?
Yeah, it's not raised where it comes out of the thing here.
Yeah.
So I had to like guesstimate where it was.
I just didn't do it.
Pachyderm's a little wobbly.
I think we're good now.
I don't have any little gold bits, but I think I'm going to try my best at making that color brown that's on the gray.
Where? Oh, so what they've done there is on parts of skin that's tight, or more warm, or has like a bulbous part like that that's stretched, it's going to look more pink. And then the tighter it gets, the more desaturated it's going to get because there's less blood under the skin. So like the bridges of our nose are going to be more white, and then our foreheads are going to be more white because the skin's tighter there. Same thing with other animals that have fleshy skin; they're going to be more pink right there, and that's what they're going for, is that kind of pink stretchiness. So what I would recommend you do there is, so let's get you. That's fluorescent red. You know what? Let's do this. So we've got a nice little fleshy color here. This is Ruby Skin from Warpaint's Fanatic. We'll shake it up a little bit. We'll give you a little bit right there. Now, what you want to do is you want to get that to that glaze consistency again. And you don't want to just put pink on there because it'll look like you painted it pink. So you're going to take some water, you're going to mix that up really good. I'd even do a little bit more, and then you should be all right. Yeah. So now, clean your brush, because you don't want it super loaded. But yep. And then go ahead, fill that up, and just start coming down. And when this happens like this, you can just.
Oh, hey, thank you.
Yep. And now move on. And you want to slowly build this up. Yeah, that looks great.
Thank you. Work on your gold stuff.
She said, leave me alone.
Just kidding.
I did a bad job of cleaning this.
What was that?
Oh, you know. The gold. So this is the Vinci V gold recipe that I'm obsessed with. I'm going to show everybody watching how to do it.
Oh yeah, here we go, y'all.
So, you're going to take Vallejo metal colored gold. Shake it up real good. You're going to do 1, 2 of that. Vallejo metal color copper. Pick it up real good. We're going to do 1 of that. Actually, ignore what I said. We're going to double that. So we're going to do 2 more for a total of 4. And you'll see why in a second. And we'll do 1 more of this to make it a total of 2. So 2 copper, 4 gold. And then we take this Green Stuff World Pure Metal Pigments Antique Gold.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we've got our little things here. And we're going to do the smallest one we can, which is 1/64.
Okay.
What the recipe is 1/128
Wow.
of
Okay.
this powder, 2 of the gold, 1 of the copper, and then 1 of these drops. So we double it because we only have 1/64. And we're going to use a full spoonful of this.
Spoonful of antique gold makes the medicine go down.
Yep. And we're just going to pat, pat, pat in there.
Pat,
And this will get everywhere. That powder will. And then we use 2 drops of flow improver. It would be 1, but we doubled the recipe. And the whole top just came off. 1, 2. And this is the most insane gold I've ever seen. It's beautiful. And it coats so well. Look at that. Mixing it in there. When all
This
those,
looks so
I told you. All right, so here's the
You
gold.
want one of these Hannibals? It comes with 4 whole pachyderm. 5. So you get the extra dead one.
That's the bonus.
All right,
Big box of stuff.
so check this out.
Y'all want a bunch of little dudes.
Here is how crazy this gold is. You ready? Look at that. It is just gorgeous.
Looks like I got some gold stuff that I'll be using that on.
I hope so.
It looks like it's the gold part is around my little sigil area here. Do you know how to do the same thing but with silver, or is gold just the better one?
I have not tried silver. I'm sure there's a recipe similar, but I do want to figure it out because I have thought of that. Because man, the coverage alone just is so
Can I see
nice.
real quick?
Yeah.
Shiny. Holy cow, that is really good.
Yeah, it's better than any like metallic paint I've ever seen.
Very good.
It's wild. He's got a cloth underneath. So I've kind of broken the rule that I said earlier on working inside out. But that's because I just wanted to get this gold on. So
oh, that little purple cloth underneath
yeah,
there?
there's gonna be some cloth under there. It'll be fine. I have okay brush control, so I should be able to get in there decently enough. But we'll see. Okay. That is the gold we want. Beautiful. Beautiful gold. Love it. It's very, very close to real gold, as you can see right here.
I didn't mean to pause myself. Now I kind of want to jump into the gold parts of my guy.
Now I gotta do these tusks. And go for it. I've got it made up. This stuff dries pretty quick on the palette. Since it's not in a wet palette. I don't make it in a wet palette because it the moisture from the wet palette kind of messes with the consistency of it.
I can't keep doing this. The magnet's so strong.
All right, it's time. I have to take my glasses off.
Should I just put a little
here.
bit there? Preach.
Here, a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, that is so pretty, guys.
Yeah, it's an amazing gold.
That is.
Shout out to Vincey V once more. That recipe is killer. He did a whole video of what's the best gold, and he tried all the different golds, and then he ranked them.
And then he made his own.
And then he said, "These are fine, but we're gonna make a better one." And
what was the top one that he ranked that, like, if you can't make your own?
I honestly can't remember. Surprisingly, one of the better ones was Retributor Gold from Games Workshop. I think I have some right here. I do. It looks like this. So you can kind of see the difference in the consistency here. So you can see, like, here's what that looks like comparatively.
Oh yeah, this does look more like foil, that edible foil and stuff like that.
Yeah. So a lot of like pre-mixed golds that you can get out of a bottle, it's just got like mica flakes in it and sometimes like aluminum flakes in it, which might be the same thing. I don't know. But this, we've basically taken a really good gold, which is a Vallejo model color, warmed it up with some of this copper, and then blasted it with pigment. And then to get it to cover really well, we've hit it with some flow improver. So it is a really cool color. And I think you could probably, if you wanted to have different color variations, you could warm it up some more with the copper. Make it more bronzy. Loving how this is turning out. We can try and do it. I'm just going to get the tips of this cloth down here. I'm getting more of this trim in other places. Again, work inside out. do as I say, not as I do. Because it can cause problems later. But it's fine. I'll just go back over it if I need to. This little chain bit.
For as small as these are very detailed miniatures.
Yeah, they're really good miniatures. They're hard plastic. They're on sprues. You got to cut them and build them. I used the, oh my goodness, I can't think of the word. Tamiya, the Tamiya extra thin.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That stuff's really good. I like the applicator brush.
Yep. And so that's what I used with this, and in some cases sprue goo. That's how I got all the mold lines off of the elephant. He was kind of had this big line going in half of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I took care of all that with sprue goo.
That's one thing that I need practice on is cleaning up the mold lines or where I cut the sprues off and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I use flat cutter sprue cutters. I use it's called God hands. They're very expensive ones, but you can get cheaper ones that do pretty much the same thing. I built a lot of Gundam model kits, and those are like 4 Gundam model kits. But the best tool for cleaning any model, and I will bring this to my grave, the only tool you need besides cutters is an X-Acto. You can use the back of an X-Acto knife to scrape and clean mold lines.
Okay.
I've used products made specifically for mold lines. This thing that Citadel tries to give you is terrible. It works, but it doesn't work well. I don't know what they're thinking. But the back of an X-Acto knife is all you need.
Yeah, I have one of those. It's not a Citadel one, but it's definitely very, very sharp, and I've got scars already on my thumb.
Oh no!
I do I have to scrape towards me. Did you want one of these? Did you want one of these? There's not a lot of people. Do you know which one you want? That's fair. So, pardon. So, we've got the really big guy.
Whoa!
So he comes with that extra pachyderm. We have also a set. So it comes with the rule book for Panzer, a Blood and Steel starter set, and then cards. All the cards, all in one bundle.
Oh, okay. That looks cool.
Outside of that, there's 2 of those, all the Hannibal sets, and then with the rule book and the all-in-one cards, we also have the Band of Brothers set. And then I think so. Okay. And then we have one more of the scaled down ones, which is the preview pack for the Hannibal. And then we have 2 preview packs for Bolt Action 3. Which looks like is this.
I'm interested in that. That's cool.
No, we have 2 of these. Did you want one of these? All right. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one. See you next time around. Blurbus, you want Hannibal, the big set, or do you want the preview pack? Because we got the big set, and it comes with an extra fallen pachyderm, which the name for it is very alliteration heavy, and it's funny but not funny.
What?
It's called Poor Parish Pachyderm.
The triple P. So I've moved on to just doing all of the medals on this.
Valid. Might as well, right?
What time is it?
Late.
We're doing good.
My stomach's telling me.
We're doing good. Yeah, very hungry.
Flurbus, go ahead and send me an email or a DM. You know how to do that through Twitch. Their email address, and I'll get you one of these Hannibal sets sent out tomorrow. There's a lot of little guys in there, but there's 4 elephants and an extra one that's taped on top because we got some extra stuff from Warlord
4 sets
Games.
of elephants.
There's 4 sets of elephants? I thought there was just 4 elephants.
Nope.
That's a lot of elephants, guys. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome, Lurbus. We got a lot of stuff from Warlord Games. They were kind enough to send us some stuff. If you can either write support at miniaturemarket.com, or if you know how to whisper on Twitch, you can whisper us your email address. I feel like you've won something before, so I might still have it saved, but just in case. I know some people who have won stuff in the past prefer to just send an email to customer service. But if you do support at miniaturemarket.com, I can let our customer service manager know in the morning, and we'll get your stuff sent out.
Oh, I got one more.
Now, I should preface this. The boxes are a little bit damaged, but we got them in the mail like that from Warlord Games. I'm pretty sure the product itself is fine. The boxes are a little bit
Happens.
It does. Pokemon players! I have played Pokemon exactly once. Probably will not do so again. It was not my jam.
The card game?
Yeah.
I thought it was not bad for a card game.
It was okay. My brain misses the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in high school.
When it came
When
out.
it was first popping off.
When it was a product made to
Be played.
sell a TV show.
Yeah. It was pretty good back
vice
then.
versa.
But now I guess it's like really bad to play. Bad in the sense of like it's hard to play, I guess. Magic is okay.
I like Magic.
I get a little confused with some Magic cards and stuff like that. It takes me a lot longer to play Magic. So like, if somebody's playing who just wants to like rush through, or is one of those players that is very big on like they have to win or they get
I don't
salty.
like playing games with people like that. I do not like it.
Like
Buy some Magic cards? Oh, more paint? What'd you get?
ooh.
Buy more paint.
Have you guys tried any of the Dirty Down effects?
Yes, it's magic in a bottle.
We are going to get some testers to do on stream. If you want, I can bring that to Hobby Night. And there are 2 new effects, which
Yes.
are gore and snot.
I will do it.
So
I'm happy to do it.
I want to try it because I really, really thoroughly enjoyed doing the Dirty
What
Down.
are they going to want us to paint?
Basically anything that needs gore or snot.
Like it. I like it.
But I had a lot of fun with those ones. My favorite was moss. Like building that up was such a cool effect. And also rust, like one coat made it look like you just want to like scrape it off with your finger.
Yeah.
But the the pictures they sent us to highlight those 2 new ones had such a visceral reaction on me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do
I heard
these.
they were coming out with those effects, and I
Yeah.
really wanted to try them out.
Yeah, I don't know when they're coming in, but if we get them in time, we're doing like spooky themed streams in October. So
I want to do one.
So we're doing
Sounds
like
great.
spooky games or like anything that
I have
is
a full
Halloween.
over 2,000 point Night Haunt Warhammer army.
Oh my
That's
god.
just ghosts. But I have things that need painted on there.
Hey, that sounds cool. I think I'll have to take a look. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but if we got one, I will definitely make one of those. So there's quite a few off the top of my head that I remember. Which on Halloween we're doing Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
We're getting an advanced copy of Sally Face.
What is Sally Face?
I don't necessarily know. It looks really cool though. We have it for pre-order right now.
Is it a board game?
Yes.
Okay. I know if it was like a war game or a tabletop or.
No. We're doing so Tuesdays and Thursdays we do mostly board games,
Yep.
and then on Wednesdays I tend to do kind of a little bit of everything, like maybe solo player games and anything that's like painting or model building and stuff like that, kind of to give a little variety.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
I'm doing Final Girl the day before
Nice.
Halloween, and then Unfathomable, I think.
Okay.
Might be one of the ones that we're playing.
That sounds eldritch.
I think so. I think it is Eldritch. And then, oh gosh. Evenfall, because that's got witches. We're playing a Scooby-Doo version of Betrayal. We don't have that item in stock, but we're gonna like try to sell regular Betrayals because most Betrayals, like, they all play the same basically.
I've been wanting to try it. It's I've had friends play it, and then I missed like the game night that they played it, and they were like, "It was so much fun."
I'm doing
man.
Legacy right now, and it is so much fun. Is that one of those paint shakers?
Yep. I've got a handheld one in my bag.
So Tyson bought one on Amazon, and then it broke almost immediately. He's like, it was one of the cheaper ones. I should have expected.
Yeah, they're not cheap for a reason.
Yeah.
We're getting in there. We're getting in there.
Feel free to go a lot faster than me. I'm just taking my time at this point.
You let me know whenever you move on to another thing, and if you want question or help or anything. I'm happy to do so. I guess I stopped talking about my process. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting this royal kind of purple in there.
Oh, Dead by Daylight. I was at a friend convention, which is basically like 75 people or less. And we played a Kickstarter version of something that has the same type of hidden movement that Dead by Daylight has. But it's not quite Dead by Daylight. I forget the name of it though. That was pretty fun. So I'm kind of looking forward to Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
The hidden movement thing.
Oh man, this is
too purple? You got the right purple?
It's just purple and gold together. It's so nice.
That is a very nice aesthetic.
It's turning out. It's turning out. I think we're gonna have something nice when we're done here. And that's all we're looking for is
this magnet is going to drive me absolutely crazy.
We're just looking to be happy with what we've done.
Do I have? Oh, their helmets are gold. I got a little bit of gold left. I can use that.
I've got more over here too if you need it. I'm pretty sure I finished all the gold I was gonna do.
Thank you for teaching me all these things. I feel like
you're welcome.
Color theory for me is going to take a lot of trial and error.
I'm still learning, and I've been a professional artist for over 12 years. Always learning about color.
We played a game, and I made the mistake of playing this particular game with our graphic designer.
It looks like
And it,
Is it Hues and Cues?
yes,
So I actually helped playtest that game.
it's such a good game,
I
and I
know the guy
thoroughly
that
enjoy
made
it.
the gold one is the old
But
one.
she's the one who told me that I don't know how to tell colors, and I was like, that feels me.
Yeah, Hues and Cues is a great game. Fun fact about that game, he wanted to do a back side of the board where all of the colors were jumbled up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That would have been a really good.
Yeah, it would have been really fun.
We did the regular version, and then when we played, we changed it up to do like we have to name foods, or there was like the vibes that this color gave, or
That's fun.
I think we ended with you just have to follow their line of sight to figure out which one it is.
Oh my goodness.
That was super fun. But I like.
It's like, which one is it? That one.
Yeah. And some of the stuff that you taught me today is a little different from some of those, because I definitely did try to like watch beginner videos and stuff like that, and they're just like, oh, you start with like a whole base color, and then
And you can
like
do
per
that.
space and things like that, and then you do a wash, and I was like, okay, well, that could work.
Yep. You can do all of those things.
So I guess there's like no right or wrong to painting, really.
There isn't. And it's like I said, as long as you're happy with what you've ended up with, that's what you're looking for.
Okay.
You can absolutely do washes. And I do use washes on things. You can use them a lot for speed painting. I use contrast paints a lot for not as just like a full color that's done, but like as a like I'm trying to bring out the shadows of something, or you know, like a glaze like we did earlier. They're really great for that. But I figured we'd just go do, you know,
Straight beginner stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't even say we've done beginner stuff today. I'd say that like following your highlights, I think what you've got is really impressive for,
I think that's all my gold. I'm a little sad.
you know, having not painted very much before. You're staying in the lines. You're very clean. You've done really great glazes.
I've done a lot of like detail hobby stuff, so like the diamond painting or little things like that. So I'm very nitpicky about like trying to stay within the lines or things like that, which is why I got a little in my head with the it's not a wyvern, but close enough. Some sort of dragon thing, Drake maybe.
Okay.
That I painted the last time. It's because I wanted everything to look like perfect, and I started off with it. I didn't have any of the colors to make it the color that it was on the box.
Yeah.
And then it threw me off 100%. I was like, I don't know what to do at this point then.
You gotta trust the process, you know. It's
Okay, I think that's all of my. I think that's all of my goals.
What are you saying over there, Josh?
I heard you
What are you
talking,
saying, Josh?
talking smack.
You talking smack over there? So I've painted in these eyeballs for this elephant,
Oh, what did you use?
and I'm not really happy with kind of how they look. So what I'm going to do is a resting eye. Your eyelid kind of comes over it. It's not you look like this.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back in some of that. Color remake some of this real quick.
All of my stuff is dry.
Yeah,
I wonder if I could peel it.
same.
I spent so long in that gold.
Alright, so I've got this. Add a little bit of that to it. And I'm just going to cover up half of what I did. Or I'm going to try.
Oh, that's a little wet. Okay. Well, that just popped right on out.
It's so difficult.
Oh, I have to start. I like your idea of looking at the tutorial, but unfortunately, today
The pop socket is really nice for getting
Oh,
like
yeah.
a lot of stuff out,
It's
but
very
man,
satisfying.
that stuff comes out so fast. Yeah. Shot at me a couple of times. It's like snow.
Okay. Man,
All right,
trying my best here.
done messing around.
I ain't playing around no more.
I say as I continue to play with pop socket. That's a mess. I'm gonna wash my hands after this. All right, so got my gold all done. What you said? Working from inside out, so maybe the cloth on him next.
Yep, that's what I did.
Okay.
Next was the cloth.
So
down
that is. It looks like it's a darker
cloth and leather
red.
straps, I think. Yeah. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to start off with this color right here. This color is amazing as a start to red. This is AK Interactive Black Red. So good. It covers so well. Do all the cloth in that. It actually, no, don't do all the cloth. Do just the shadowy bits.
Okay.
And it's okay if it's like sharp transition, right? So
Okay. So
just
like
get those shadows
all the
in.
shadowy bits just on the cloth itself.
Yep, just on the cloth itself. So like,
Okay.
here,
So these
and I'll
little
show
crevices areas right
Yeah.
here.
you. So you're gonna wanna go like bam, 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 like that.
Okay.
All these shadowy bits.
Okay. Cool.
I gotta do a second coat of this purple because it didn't really cover very well. And we want it to be really saturated. But this is to be expected with painting miniatures. Two thin coats is usually what's going to happen. And you'll get a nice coverage. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of that like pooling texture underneath, and we don't really want that. And I'm just pulling down with it, following the cloth. If you go across it horizontally, your brush will catch the raised edges of the folds in the cloth and it'll deposit large bits of paint on it. So we want to kind of follow the way that the cloth is flowing. And if you're trying to get into tight areas, there's a technique that I learned, and the phrase was coined from him. His name is Mezgeik, and he makes his own models. He does Patreons and stuff of proxies for popular war games. and he'll paint them. And he does a really good job. And is whenever you're trying to get into a really tight spot, or you're trying to be very precise, or you're trying to get a little bit of like a line, you want to kiss the air as you get closer to it. So you want to just kind of like bring it in closer, closer, and then you start to get it on there. So if you're trying to get into those tight spots, that's a good way to do it. He called it kissing the air. I was like, okay. Oh, I didn't do my little goldy strap at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and do that. This is starting to dry. Oh no! The cool thing about this is, though, that a little bit of flow improver, when this gold starts to dry up, perks it right back to life.
Oh, nice.
It's weird.
So, like, you can just use it even if the edges have been dried up a little bit.
Yep, and it just brings
Very
it all
nice.
back
Look at
to
how
life.
pretty that is.
It's such a good gold.
Without my glasses, something needs to be like.
And you know, you get this and this and this, and you'll have gold for like so long. It doesn't take a lot of each of them, you know, and it makes quite a bit.
Yep, right.
There's a Visine for that. There's not. Sorry.
That's my favorite, right? That force rotation, constantly looking for correction.
Then I just look at everything suspiciously. It's like, what's happening over there? Now see, I like those glasses.
I can just barely discern where the yellow is in my freaking palette.
Alright, we've got that, and now we're going to make a different... We're going to add some blue to it.
I know what's in there.
This, yep. Until I haven't used these colors yet. They still got the seal.
Oh, yeah.
That's exciting.
Fresh paints. Paints don't really go bad. If they do, you use some of this flow improver and it's fine.
So, for these little areas that are like kind of darker,
Yeah?
I don't think I used the red there, right?
No, I mean, you can use really anything you want there, just make it dark.
Gotcha.
You could use this brown color here that we made before.
Tis gone.
Tis gone. It is gone. Be gone with him.
Okay. I think I did all of my little crevice areas pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. Now take that color. You're gonna mix it with a brighter red. This is deep red. Let's use not fluorescent red. Cool red. Is that the red we want? Good Lord.
I thought you pulled red out and like I didn't see the purple that was already there, so you took your hand away and I was like, that's not red.
It's magic. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, that is red.
So now mix those two together to get your mid-tone.
Okay. And then that's just going to go on those raised areas?
No,
No.
that's gonna go. Do you see the like slightly darker, but not? It's like the in between middle bits.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put you in here.
We're kind of layering these on.
Do I like that red or do I want
Boy, that's a crazy looking color. So I could have just used the same purple, but I wanted to separate them, kind of like how they had in this picture here. So I made one purple more warm and more red. More of that like rich, vibrant red purple. And then this other one's a little bit colder and more blue. And it's still going to read as purple entirely, but it'll have that interesting separation effect here. Which is why I think they probably chose to make the colors that, unless they were going for historical accuracy, and then, you know, that's what they were doing. But I like to think they were trying to separate these to make it really interesting. It almost looks like a little treasure chest.
It kind of does.
It's got like the lid and the buckle, like, or the lock, I guess, is what it would be.
I am not doing so hot with my mids. It's pretty mid.
It's okay. Just keep, trust the process. Get the mids down. Then we'll add the highlights, and then we'll blend everything together and kind of make it look nice.
Oh, that's his ear. His ear's bleeding now, guys. Well, my bad.
That's okay. You can fix that. So very quickly, rinse off your brush. And then go over it with water. And then kind of dab it with your finger. Not too hard. You'll get all the paint off.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can try and go back over it with here. Let's see if we got it somewhere. Maybe that. Maybe that'll do. Boy, that ain't working.
It's good enough.
There we go.
Noise. You're no
It's
longer
an
bleeding.
additive process.
There it is. There's my boy. It's $1 in the additive process.
Boy, this bluish purple is very light, very thin. You're definitely gonna need another coat.
I can't hear what you're responding to all the time, so it's just like you're saying.
What?
I just hear Travis whispering in my ear. It's just absurd.
Sweet nothings.
He does that to me too, except when I'm sleeping at night.
Company.
Gives me nightmares.
The hot mess.
Your elephant?
Like cloth.
No, it's looking great.
Okay.
I think you might have it a little too thin, but you might have to do another coat of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just go over. I would go over both once more.
Okay.
So get your shadows in again, get your highlights or your midtones in again, and then it'll be good. Trust the process.
Heck yeah, there it is. There's the other catchphrase. Use it to win this right. I think it's supposed to be six liquid. You should get. Oh wait, no, it's dry. It's dry.
But then you get crunchy little paint chips.
Yeah. That's seasoning.
Snacks.
I didn't eat dinner today. I'm hungry.
Same.
We're over here talking about snacks.
I was like, it'll be fine. We'll get through this like super fast, and then I could just go home and have dinner. And then I got absorbed. Hooray for ADHD.
All right. Here's my highlight color. Taking this light pink, I'm mixing it in with our purple that we did. And now we're just going to... Yeah, that's good. It's actually not very thinned down. I need it to be thin. There we go.
Sargento, the cheese? Talking about food.
We talking about cheese? Sargento? What? Cloth is one of the hardest things for me. It's such a difficult time with it. It usually doesn't look good until the last bit of it, and it's really hard.
Don't eat the brush. There was paint on that. So did you ever do hobby night over at the Manchester store?
Nope.
Just keep things here?
Yep, just this one. We started this, I think, a year and a half ago. We have a really cool thing for Christmas that we do, or the holiday season in general.
Okay.
Everyone's welcome, you know. And we do where you bring in a model of yours that you want painted by someone else. You put it in a tin, and then we all jumble them all up.
Oh, kind of like a weird white elephant.
Yes. And then we use like a initiative thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like a Schwazi or, like roll a D20 or something. And then by initiative, highest goes first. You get to go up, look through all the models, pick which one you want to do, take it home. No one knows who got whose model. And then whenever it's time, we bring them all in, and we all gather around a table, and we'll say this one is so-and-so's. And then they open it, they look at it, ooh and ah at it, and then pass it around the table, and everybody sees it. And then at the end of it, the person who painted it, says, that was me.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's really cute. What time do you, or when do you usually do that?
I think we're gonna do it after Halloween this year. I'm not sure yet. We wanna make sure people have enough time to really put some good effort into one and not be rushed and stressed out about holidays. You know.
We're working on it.
Working on what?
A new retail store. We're trying. We promise.
I was involved with Miniature Market before they even had a retail store.
Oh, nice.
So I was the creative director for Gray Fox Games for 5 years.
We are getting Gray Fox Games back in our warehouse. They're gonna rent out some space again.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it'll be like old times. It's way back before I started at Miniature Market.
And I would.
But I heard about it at the old retail store.
And
Or
it was in that massive warehouse, and
Mhm.
you know, I was in the office space in there. I had my own office. It was cool. I still keep in touch with Shane, the owner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll have to ask him about that next time I talk to him. Where is the warehouse now?
We're in Hazelwood, so we're 20 minutes away from here.
Because you were in South City for a while.
Yeah. We moved about 2 years ago. What year is it? Yeah, 2 years ago.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this, but
Yeah, me neither. But you'll have a start.
I'm trying.
I'm going very slow now.
Very slow.
But it's A-okay.
Getting all the paints out. There we go. So this is where I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Because there's all these tiny little, like, quilted, like, battings. And I'm going to try and get some edge details.
Just about time for me to gather up my stuff too. It's a little thin, but I can do a second coat. It's no biggie. And I kind of just went for it with the coloring for my, not exactly a highlight, but like the color, overall color.
Yeah.
Thing. So like.
Yeah, definitely. And I was gonna suggest adding a little bit of like a warmer, like yellow into red. Highlighting red is very difficult because if you put white in it, it turns pink.
Yeah.
It desaturates your red. So if you want a nice, rich, warm red, you want to highlight yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
In your red. Not like highlight it because they don't look like McDonald's. But right. Exactly.
We're trying to use it rather than use it.
Hey, we got like 6 people watching now.
We've had a pretty decent amount for a while there. Any new viewers, if you're interested in getting a Hannibal set or a bolt action package, go ahead and let us know your preference, and we can go ahead and get one sent out to you. Got quite a few. The Hannibal Hail Caesar Punicorns battles. Not the worst. It's good. I feel like the cloth could use
I think you're doing
like
great.
a little shade situation. So let me try it.
I would use that black red again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a really good shading to it.
You think it's okay?
I think what you need to do is bump up your highlights. See in here that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe try and just use that plain red
Just
on some of just the highlighted parts.
okay. Because this color that I did here was 2 or 3 parts of the red mixed with one of the browns.
Yeah. It's good to experiment like that, you know. You know which colors are which, and if you mix them, you can find an in-between spot, you know.
Oh yeah.
There is a tiny little bit on the edge of this brush, and it's driving me nuts.
Is it curled?
Not curled. There was a
Crust?
yeah, like
Paint
a
crust?
one singular hair sticking out that had like a little bubble on it. But it was throwing off my aim when I was trying to paint.
Well, that did nothing. I just didn't go bright enough, and it doesn't look like I did anything. So, lesson learned.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go.
Let's see. ITST. One or two sets of speeder bike. Oh, the 501st?
All right, I think I'm gonna have to make this a monthly thing.
Yeah, but yeah, they're always super expensive.
Let me take a look at what we're doing in October, and I'll let you know.
Oh,
Because if I have a specific date for the dirty down paints, I'll have to bring those in on a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Let everybody test them out.
Yeah, those are great.
I was so sad when I had to bring the dirty down effects here so that you guys could have them for like hobby night or whatever, or just to let people like test them to see if they like them and stuff like that. I was
They're
really
not
sad.
cheap.
I had so much fun playing with them.
Yeah, they're awesome. So they are a product that they use in movies for practical effects.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They're special, whatever. Same with the commandos. Yeah, the infantry, there should be like million abilities. Like maybe not. What could you get on the right? No, like eight.
All right, so since this is like a royal kind of cloth,
Mm-hmm.
God, that's way too much water. I'm gonna take this, and I'm actually gonna do some specular highlights on it, like it's silk.
Ooh.
But a little bit's gonna go a long way.
Well, that's much. Small. It's okay. Everything is fine. Oh, I'll be painting over you later. Or not me. You will, because this guy's coming back with you. I don't have any painting stuff at my house. Oh, that's a, I was like, I can't even figure out what this is. It's this guy's skirt and legs. Paint screen, but it is 8:30.
Sure is.
We might need to call it a night. I need to get home. Yes, my guy. Better painting than the last time I did stuff.
Nice. Looks great. Your elephant turned out so good. You should be really happy with that skin.
I think he looks pretty darn good. His highlights are pretty deep or decent.
Here's what I got.
Yeah. I like the colors on that. That looks really good. And your silver or your gold looks like smooth.
Yeah, and I'll do like a wash to kind of like get the shadows in with the gold and stuff.
You look not bad, Pikachu.
Get these chains in. Actually, they wouldn't use metal chains. They would use gold. Because I said so.
Start cleaning up a little bit. But anyone still listening? Thanks, Blurman. Anyone still listening? If you're in chat and you would like, we've got a lot of Hannibal, Hail Caesar, Epic Battles, the Punic War set that comes with an extra.
You can paint your own elephant.
Parish Pachyderm on top of that. And you can paint your own version of this. There's 4 sets of elephants in that. There's a lot of little guys. We also have some bolt action, the new Achtung Panzer items, if you'd like some of those. You can either drop us a message in Twitch, or if you drop your email address via email. Oh my gosh, my brain died. You want to drop?
Shutting down.
Pretty much. It's been a very long day.
Brain no more work.
If you, oh yes, email support. You can send. I'll send you a bunch of. There is so many minis in the Hannibal set, Blurvis. You will get so many.
Thousands.
I hope you enjoy it. Is it thousands? It's definitely a lot.
It might be 8,000.
Look at the back.
Definitely feels like 8,000. It's more dudes than I can imagine. You're crushing the pachyderm.
I am not.
The triple P is in danger.
That's just the tape coming off. Let's see here. Oh,
It's a lot of dudes.
It's a lot of math that I cannot do right now. But it is a lot. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get that sent out for you tomorrow, Blurvis. And yeah, so what are you finishing up on for this stream? And then we're definitely gonna have to come back and do hobby night with Tyler here again. I learned so much. I was but adrift on a log the last time. I went absolutely mad the last time I tried to paint. The stream has me like, because I talk to inanimate objects, and like throughout the stream I just kept talking
Look
to
at
it.
that. That's so good. For like you said this is your third
It's the
miniature?
third time I've painted, yeah.
That is great.
Pretty good. I really like that gold though.
Yeah, the gold's awesome.
I'll have to email you and ask you for the recipe.
TV. He does magic.
Any questions you guys have about painting or anything like that for Tyler Worley's
Before
here?
we sign off.
Because it's late. Neither one of us have eaten today. I'm sure he wants to get home to his family. The tiny human, which acts like an adult.
Yes. My sweet little girl.
I have cats that I'm sure are pretending they haven't eaten all day. Are desperate for food.
Yeah, mine does that too. They're like, thank God you're here. I was withering away.
I've not eaten for hours.
As he's chewing the last bits of food from his bowl to make it look like it's empty.
Yeah, the painting tips are absolutely helpful. I know if we decide to do another hobby night, we might want to try to do some like model building as well to get some tips on that, because
Yeah, I'm
kind of okay at it.
I've got a lot of good tips for model building.
I have so many of Conquest items that I'm putting together for Dave at the warehouse, because if I put together all of his minis, he's gonna buy me a board game. And I was like, done. But Conquest items have these like little ball joint areas, so it's not exactly like you fit a piece in and it stays.
Yeah.
I have to like finagle it a little bit, and I don't think I'm good at it. I also am unsure of what's too little or too much for the glue, because I'm using
The Tamiya?
Tamiya glue. And I was like, I painted it on, but I tried to do a little bit, and then it didn't do anything. But yeah.
I can help with that.
Say who what?
I said I can help with that. Huh? Oh. I heard my name.
All right. But we're probably going to call it a day. Thank you so much for tuning into this very long stream, and we hope you guys have a great night. Bye, everyone.